Why do you want me to write wrong code? Why is writing a red test so important? And when should I stop to fake it and start writing real code? In the last 7 videos of this series, I answered those questions and more about the first 2 phases of the red-green refactor cycle of test-driven development. Today, I want to do a short recap. You are watching part 8 of a mini-series about red and green. And today I want to recap what I told you in the last 7 videos. And I also want to do some sort of a conclusion. So, writing a good failing test and getting that test correctly from red to green is hard. But there are things you can do. There are things you can learn that will make your life a little bit easier. Things you can do when writing a red test and when getting this test from red to green. My name is David and I'm a trainer and a technical agile coach. And by the way, if you like these videos, please share them with your friends and followers. That would be awesome. I started this 8-part video series about test-driven development by saying that one of the first things you have to learn when you want to start with test-driven development is how to write a good failing test and how to get this test from red to green correctly. And that this is already harder than you might think. And it is. You must learn how to take very small steps, how to break down your large goal into tiny pieces, and how to take tiny steps that each bring you closer to your original goal. And you have to learn how to write a test that fails properly. You will write code that feels wrong when you never did TDD before. And you will get stuck. You must learn how to get unstuck. You must learn what to do when you wrote yourself into a corner and that you cannot get out of this corner by only moving forward. You will also face problems. Your tests will make it harder for you to change your existing code. Your tests will prevent you from refactoring because you will write bad tests at the beginning. And you will face more of those problems when you're just starting out. Sometimes those problems will show up immediately, but sometimes you will face them only after months, after many, many tests you wrote and much production code. And then it will be hard to get back on track. But there are techniques you can use during the first 2 phases, during red and green, that make your life easier, that will help you avoid or mitigate those problems. You can learn and practice test-driven development. In this series, I showed you techniques and tricks that you can learn to get better at test-driven development. I showed you some challenges you should consider when writing a test or when trying to get this test from red to green. And in this series, I only focused on the first 2 phases of test-driven development, on red and green. Does that mean that refactor is not important? Not at all. I think refactoring is as important or even more important than the first 2 steps. But when I teach test-driven development, in a TDD training or in an agile engineering practice workshop, I see people struggle much earlier than at refactoring. I see them struggle write a good failing test, and I see them struggle write the production code to make this test green. And that's why I was focusing on those 2 things in this video series. Only when you can write a good failing test and when you're able to write the smallest possible production code to get this test from red to green, then you can really think and focus on refactoring. So, did you like this series? Did you answer some of your questions about test-driven development? Or are there any questions that I didn't answer? Please tell me in the comments of this video or on Twitter. I am @dtancer there. And if you liked this series, then please share it with your friends, followers and colleagues. That would be awesome.